Good day, good evening. I find this blog very difficult because it involves the setup and murder of Shanquella Robinson. Far too often, I read stories about Black trans, trans of color who are murdered, thrown in dumpsters like yesterday's trash. Stories about missing little Black girls, cisgendered little Black girls, and family members pleading to get the story out because it's not being covered by the media. If we don't value each other's lives, who's going to? The trans community should not put cisgendered women in danger, and cisgendered women should not put members of the trans community in danger. But unfortunately, historically, what has happened is your transphobia rears its ugly head whenever there's a grisly crime, such as the murder of Shanquella Robinson. Now, I don't have proof, it's my opinion from what I have read and seen, that she was lured there, that the people who lured her there at the very least knew they planned to have some sort of confrontation with her. Suddenly, someone thought it would be a good idea to Photoshop one of the guys. Photoshop one of the women and put this guy's face on her, and then say that it was a member of the trans community beating her. Once people saw the edited face of the woman, the cisgendered woman, they began making comments of her big back and this, that, and the other, and tearing her down disgracefully, because they thought it was a trans woman. It's disgusting. And I look at some of the people who have huge platforms on YouTube, who are first in line to be irresponsible because they want to get the story out first. They want to be first. They want to get those clicks and views. And so they'll run with unfounded theories, but they'll put them out like they're true, like they're proven. I'm speaking directly about Sherelle's world. That, in my opinion, has been very irresponsible. Her first video, it was a man. It was a man. Can you believe a man? The title, the clickbait, a man murdered. Or something of that nature. I don't know the exact name of it. I just remember seeing a man. I remember her saying at least once, a man, and then trying to correct herself. But by that time, the wolves have been let loose. And they're wondering, why aren't the LGBTQ plus community stepping up to say something? What would they say? What would we stand up to say? If it's a cisgendered woman murdering someone, what would we say? If it's a gay person murdering someone, what would we say? The only thing we can say is that it's a heinous crime, and everyone involved should be prosecuted under the fullest extent of the law. And in my opinion, they should go to jail in Mexico, where they committed the crime. But it's not about understanding how we feel. It was more about, now we have an excuse to let our vicious transphobia run amok and wild. Because now we can have this anger that this man killed this girl. There are at least 3 women involved. Now, there's been no evidence that any one of them is trans. But all 3 of them participated in beating her. So should I sit here and ask, where's your outrage for the other 2 cisgendered women? Where's your outrage for the heterosexual men that were sitting there doing nothing? No, I don't ask that, because that would be asinine and ridiculous. The outrage is that a 25-year-old woman has had her life snuffed out. The outrage is that those people left her there like day-old trash, flew back, and had the unmitigated gall to sit in her parents' face, look them in the eye, eat their food day after day, and lie to them. There's plenty of outrage. And if you look, some of the very first people to want to amplify this heinous crime and murder were actually members of the LGBTQ plus community. Streamers such as Kempire and others who constantly put it out about we should look into this. This doesn't seem to be alcohol poisoning. But he did it with regard to being careful about not exploring theories and running with theories, but something doesn't seem correct between the autopsy findings of the young woman having a broken back and neck. Something is not in alignment with that and the claim that it was alcohol poisoning. And Kempire didn't try to go into crazy theories. He just wanted to get people to become interested in the story so that it would get out there, and like it ended up happening, we now have the FBI investigating and the officials in Mexico investigating and treating this as the murder that it was. When you have to live your life concerned about dangers, it's not a laughing matter. It's every time someone says that some trans is responsible for something, you're giving someone who may not be stable the extra push they need to come out and kill someone in my community. Now, we can agree to disagree about a lot of issues, and I can still see you as a human being with whom I may not see eye to eye on some issues. But the second you recklessly put my life in danger for money, for clicks, we can't see eye to eye because you don't see me as human. You see me as disposable. And that is a problem to me. That is why we're in this situation, in this world that we're in. That is why other people find it easy to go out and murder us. I'm not excusing their actions because they're responsible for what they do. But we have some house cleaning to do because we are also responsible for how we treat each other and what we put out there. I'm sorry, I'm not doing any and everything for $1 or a click. I happen to value other people's lives as I value my own. You have other YouTubers such as Andrew Gabor, a gay man, well, a self-identified gay man, who clearly has issues with trans women, who feels that if he can still see any maleness or attributes in them, that he does not need to respect their self-identified gender identity, because he feels that it's his place to determine who is feminine enough and who isn't. And he's not the only one. But I bring him up because he has a lot of cisgendered women kikiing and cacaing and going along with his foolishness. The level of self-hate, and by self-hate I mean hating people within your own community. It's nauseating. And I'm tired. Because we have to confront this on a daily basis. We don't get a holiday. And the foolishness, the misinformation that I constantly hear, but it's okay. It doesn't matter who gets killed. Because a couple extra clicks and likes, a couple extra dollars, makes it all worth it. Right? I don't know if I will make some additional videos this week, because I am utterly disgusted, and this has put me in a bad space, because I already felt bad for the young woman that was murdered. But then on top of it, to see the vitriol, the viciousness, the transphobia heaped upon the trans community, and anyone highly visible in the trans community, oh, they really went after. Do better. Do better. Thank you.